seller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychological black on firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter. This is the Grow Your Money podcast where we talk about how to grow your money and not blow your money. What's up, you guys? Come on in. I just want to talk to you really quick. I ain't going to be on here really long, but I don't have a whole lot to talk about. So what I'd like for you to do is talk back to me and talk black to me, because this is a dialogue and not a monologue. But I do want to talk about money. As we go into the 4th of July weekend, this weekend is a special time for me. I have 3 kids' birthdays in July. My daughter's is today. She's actually cleaning up right now because she's going to have a party at the house. My son is the 4th, and then I have another one who's on the 31st. So please send a shout out, happy birthday to my daughter, Kyle, and to my son, Warren Jr. They're having birthdays today and tomorrow. But anyway, I just want to talk to you guys about some money. And as we go into the 4th of July, I want you to really think about Juneteenth, because what did Frederick Douglass say? What does the 4th of July mean to the slave or to the enslaved? What does the 4th of July mean to us? And really, as I reflect on what the 4th of July means, really it means freedom. Even though our freedom wasn't given to us when freedom of this country happened, we do have a lot of freedom and we have a lot of options. So despite all the things that the powers that be try to do to Black people, we still have a lot of freedom and we have a lot of choices, and there's things that we can do. So just real quick, I ain't gonna be on here long, but I just want to ask you guys some questions and I want to make you think. And these are some things that I was thinking about today, right? So let me ask you a question. And if you can put it in the comments, and for those of you, so I'm on like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different platforms right now. I'm on a couple of 3 Facebook pages, LinkedIn, a couple of YouTube pages, Twitter, and Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, I have to go over to Instagram because your comments are not going to pop up on here. But let me ask you a question. If you want to go, if you want your comments to be seen on here, you can go to anywhere on Facebook or on YouTube at I am Constance Carter. So if you had $10,000, what would you do? If I gave you $10,000 today, what would you do with it? So that's a real question. So anybody who's on here under the sound of my voice, what would you guys do if you were to receive $10,000 today? What would you do with that $10,000? I'm curious because I want to know what your mindset is. Let me go over here on Instagram. Let's see, what would you do if you had $10,000, not $10? What would you do if you had $10,000? My daughter is vacuuming right now. What would you do? Most people said that they would probably pay bills. How many of you guys said if you had $10,000, you would pay bills? Let's see, somebody said something. Invest. All of them. Invest. So if you had $10,000, what would you do? Okay, so he said invest. Some other folks, what would you do if you had $10,000? Some people say buy a car. Would you buy a car if you had $10,000? Would anybody buy a car if you had $10,000? Would you pay bills? Would you take a trip? Sometimes you need a trip. Would you catch up? So if you had $10,000, would you pay bills? Would you buy a car? Would you take a trip? Would you catch up? And there's no wrong answer to this. There's no wrong answer because it's kind of like where you are in your financial space. So you may be in a place where you got to catch up on some bills. That's a real thing. I can't do anything else until I catch up on these bills. Some of you guys may not have a car. I got to give me a goddamn car. So, there's no wrong answer to this, but I just wanted to know, okay, let's see. Do I give you $200? Peace, love, and blessings. Share between my son and my daughter. Okay. That's a real answer. That's a real response. So most wealthy people, let's talk about it. So most wealthy people, and these are people, again, you can't invest. So most wealthy people will look at it in investing, right? So Thomas said, I would invest it. I would invest my money. And that is the smart and prudent thing to do, but everybody's not able right now. So if I had to think about if I'm going to get a car, like I need a car, I need transportation, and I'm going to invest, of course my priority is getting a car. If I had to think about if I'm behind on my bills and I think, okay, I need to either pay my bills up or invest, I'm going to pay my bills up. But all things being fair, bills are paid, car, you got a car, you're good. Investing would be the prudent thing to do. So one of the things that we need to start doing is I want you to download the Rocket Money app. And I don't know if you guys use any type of budgeting app, but I want you to download the Rocket Money app, because Rocket Money, I love it. I use it all the time. It takes all of your spending. You attach all of your bank accounts to Rocket Money, all of them. And then it tells you all the money that goes out, all the money that comes in. It lets you know if you have any subscriptions going on. Maybe you got subscriptions that you don't even remember that you got. It might be a $10, $15 subscription. It might be a $25 subscription that's coming out every single month, and it's adding up. Might be Netflix. But you got Netflix, but you got cable, but maybe you don't need cable. Maybe you got a little bootleg thing. You might have things that you don't even know. So Rocket Money is really great because it gives you a snapshot of all of your expenses. And it even tells you what your net worth is. So it takes all your assets, all your liabilities, and I have everything attached. So sometimes it's like, whew, I spent that much. And then you can go in there and then it'll even cancel some subscriptions, unnecessary subscriptions for you. But it puts it all in one place on a dashboard so that you can see everything clearly and you can see where you stand. The problem is most Americans don't. I think it's 1 in 5 Americans, only 1 in 5 Americans have a budget in writing. Most Americans don't know where they stand in terms of their money. You're just spending. A lot of us are living check to check. Some of us have money put away, but they're still not monitoring their spending. So having a mechanism in place, and thank God for apps and technology, because you have this app that can really help you manage your budget and you can save money. So I've seen people save I do this exercise with people that I coach all the time. Very simple exercise. So they're saving $300 per month. They're saving $500 per month. They're saving $1,000 a month. Once they go through go through Rocket Money and they see all the money that they're just spending frivolously. Sometimes it might be a Walmart run. You go to Walmart all the time. Amazon is a big killer for me. Amazon. Why are you doing Amazon all the time? So once they've taken that money, that $300 a month, that $500 a month, that $1,000 a month that they're spending that they didn't even know that was coming out of their account, then you can do that fifth thing is invest it. Okay. So when you have that extra money, there's a couple of ways that you can invest. If you have Robinhood, easy app. It's one of the easiest ways that you can start investing now. You may not have a Schwab account. You may not have an Ameritrade account, but you can do Robinhood, and Robinhood is very user friendly. You can go in there, you can get locked in. I think, let me see. If I give you, my son manages my Robinhood account, so it's not even downloaded. I'm gonna download it. But if you don't have Robinhood and I give you my Robinhood link, I think you'll get like free $5 in stock or something like that, and it'll actually start you off when you're looking at that. So a lot of people are like, well, how do I start investing? What do I invest in if I open up Robinhood? I don't know. Think about the things that you use all the time. What are the things that you use all the time? Maybe you wear Nikes. Maybe you wear Jordans. Invest in Nike. Maybe you like Victoria's Secrets. So it doesn't have to be anything mind-blowing that, the next big thing. There are things that you use every single day. When you're looking at investing in anything, it's a long-term investment. It's not something that you're going to get overnight. I remember my son, he got a Cash App account, and they allow juveniles to invest in Cash App. So my son said, can you give me $10 so I can invest in some stock on Cash App? I was like, cool. I gave him $10. And then he hit me like a couple days later. He's like, Mom, it's only $9.58 in here. And I don't have, it's taking my money. Well, that's pretty much how it works. So just because you put money in there, it's not going to automatically grow. You may not get a return on your investment. The biggest thing about investing is understanding that it's long-term. It is a risk. You may not get anything back, and don't invest anything that you're not willing to lose. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Okay. So let me see if I can get that link for Robinhood, to give you the link so that you can get $5 in free stock. I haven't done this in so long. I'll do it later. Let's see. I'll do it later. So the next question I have for you, I wrote down some questions. Oh, yeah. This is what. So I met people making $40,000 who became millionaires. I've also seen people who have with hundreds of thousands of dollars and who are broke. Money doesn't change your habits. So it is easier for a person who's had money, lost it, and make it over again, because they have habits. Excuse me, they have good money habits. Money doesn't change your habits. But if you don't understand how to manage money on a basic level, then if you get money, so say you get a big influx of money, say you get you win the lottery and you make millions of dollars, most of those lottery winners go broke. That's why 85% of NFL players end up going broke within 5 years of retirement, is because they don't have good financial IQ. And so it's really important that you get educated. So taking training, taking classes, listening to podcasts, talking to people who are smarter than you. Dr. Boyce Watkins, he's one of the people that I actually really, really listen to, because he has really great financial advice, and he's made a lot of people a lot of money. Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who know about it earn from it. Those who don't, pay it. What does that mean? So the Rockefellers have set up these dynasty trusts that generations upon generations upon generations upon generations will have wealth, because they learn how to do that through compound interest in their investments. So their children's are eating off of the investments that they made. Most common people were paying compound interest. We pay it in our mortgages. We pay it in our credit cards. Let me show you something. I'm going to show you, let me see, Credit Karma. I'm going to go to Credit Karma, credit calculators, right? I want to show you something really, really fascinating that blew my mind when I first seen it. So I'm going to go to Credit Karma, and I'm going to go to the financial calculator, and I'm going to go to the credit card calculators. I'm going to share my screen really quick. Watch this. It's going to blow your mind how compound interest works. So share my screen. Come on, share. Where's share? Oh, there it is. All right. So share screen, Credit Karma. So if you go to Credit Karma credit card calculator, I'm going to go to the debt repayment calculator, right? Say your credit card payment or your credit card balance is $1,000. The average interest rate is 29.9%. And say your minimum monthly payment is $25. Now, I don't want you making a minimum monthly payment ever on any of your credit card bills for a couple of reasons. Number one, you generate a lot of compound interest. Number two, if you ever want to get approved for a loan, Fannie Mae looks at that. And they may not approve you because they want to see you paying a little bit more than the minimum amount for your credit card. So even if it's $5 more, $10 more, you always want to pay something more. But more importantly than that, it's the compound interest that you're paying on this credit card. So you got $1,000 balance. You're paying $25 a month. The interest rate is 29.9%. Look how long it's going to take you to pay that mug off. It's going to take you 232 months. That's 19 years to pay off this $1,000 credit card. And you're going to pay $4,799 in interest on top of the $1,000 that you have to pay if you pay $25 a month. You're creating more interest. You're paying more in interest than you're paying to principal. So you're negatively amortizing your credit card payment. It's going to take you 19 years to pay it off. Say you say you pay $50 a month. It's only $25 more. Look at how this is how compound interest works. Now that 19 years is going to take you a little bit over a year to pay that $1,000. And you're only going to pay $416 on top of the interest that you're paying, on top of the principal that you're paying. That's how compounded interest works. It compounds the interest on top, on top, on top, and you end up paying so much more for a credit card. Say I got this credit card and I desire to pay it off in 6 months. My payment is only $181 and I'm only going to pay $89 in interest. But see, that interest is the devil. Interest ain't good. So you paying $25 a month, bare minimum on a credit card payment, and it's going to take you 19 years if you only pay $25 per month. That's crazy. But that's how compound interest works. And many people think that, oh, if you pay it twice in a month, then it's going to increase your credit score. That's not true. It's not going to increase your credit score if you pay it twice a month. What increases your credit score is if you pay it before the due date. So for example, if your due date is on the 14th of the month, you make that payment, however much you make. If it's 2 payments, if it's 3 payments, whatever it is, that the total amount is paid before the date it's due. That's the amount that it's going to report to the credit bureaus, and that's going to be what reflects on your credit with your credit score. Okay, so you want to really keep your credit cards between 10 and 30% of the limit. Credit card balances, if you look at the credit pie, I don't think I have a credit pie in here. Let me see if I got a credit pie in here. But your credit card balances, and I should always have a credit pie up in here. But you know what? Let me just go here, credit pie, because I want to show you a visual, and I need to keep a credit pie in here because I often talk about it. But let's talk about your credit, because I want you to understand how it's broken down. And this is the hack to get you good credit quickly. This is how you'll be able to figure out how to increase your credit score. So 35% of your credit pie is your payment history. So if you've been paying it late, if you've been paying it on time, that's a huge chunk, 35%. But 30% is your credit card balances. That is huge. Your credit cards, that's the holy grail of credit. Now, of course, payment history is going to affect your credit score, but 30% of your whole entire credit pie is how much you owe on your credit cards compared to the limits. That's the quickest way you can go up and the quickest way you can go down. Your credit card balances. So you paying the minimum amount per month, you keeping your balances high, that's going to drain your credit score. So if you can continue to pay, you want to pay more because you don't want to have to pay interest. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you know, well, let me just finish. 15% is your credit history. So you want to make sure that you have a lengthy credit history. So you don't want to close old credit cards at all because that's going to drop your score. Okay. 10% is credit inquiries. So you don't want a bunch of inquiries, but it's only 10%. Many people think that if somebody pulls their credit, it's going to drop their credit score 50 points. It's not the inquiries. It's what you've done with your credit in between the time. And then 10% is types of credit. So the credit bureaus like to see that you have a good mixed use of credit. But let me go back to paying your credit cards, because I am a certified credit expert. I'm a credit expert. I know a lot about credit. I've taken classes. I own a mortgage company, and I'm obsessed with credit. I have books, best-selling books about credit. I have training about credit. And if you don't have this book, you need to get this book. This is your credit Bible. It's called Keeping Score: What You Need to Know to Make Your Credit Score Grow. You can get that on Amazon, or you can take my online training. But a lot of times when you pay your credit cards to zero, did you know it could actually drop your score? It could actually drop your score, because utilization is stimulation. So when you utilize your credit, it actually stimulates your credit and it increases your score. So if you are trying to improve your credit, it's not a bad idea to keep a balance. But if you ain't trying to if you're not trying to buy anything, if you're not trying to do anything, it's not a good idea, because then you have interest and then you're paying extra on interest that you don't need to. It's also not good if you don't ever use your credit cards. So some people just don't use their credit cards. I accidentally, on one of my cards, I forgot to use it. and they closed it. And you never, ever, 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 you do not ever want to close a credit card, because that history helps your credit. Remember, I said it was 15% of the pie, 15% of the pie for your credit history. Okay. And then you don't want the credit, the credit company to close it, because that's even worse than you closing it. So keep a balance if you are trying to stimulate your credit score. Go to, get some gas, pay it off. If you're not really worried about increasing your credit score, get some gas, pay it off, pay it down. Okay. So that is going to be key. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who know about it earn from it. Those who don't, pay it. So I just told you about how people are paying compound interest through credit cards, through mortgage payments. Let's look at a mortgage. I'm not going to look at a mortgage one because I don't want to discourage you, but I will say this. With mortgages, with your general traditional mortgages, you're not really paying on the principal of your home until about year 20. You're paying a little bit, but paying a little bit extra per month on that principal, it can knock down years on you paying your home off. That is something that is really doable. So even though that you're paying mostly interest for the first 20 years, you put a couple extra $100 on that mortgage payment, you're knocking off time on your mortgage. Okay. But how do you earn from compound interest? Investing. I just mentioned investing in stock, S&P 500, permanent life insurance policy, get an IUL. You can borrow from yourself. You can, it's not based upon the stock market. The index is not based upon the stock market. So you'll never lose your money if you park it and you put it in a permanent life insurance policy. So as the economy goes up and down, your money is stabilized. It's a long-term investment. It's not something that you want to put in and take out immediately. It's something that you want to have over a period of time. But that's for that long-term wealth gain. Okay. Two sisters, one spends 5 years learning social media dances. The other spends 5 years learning credit, investing, real estate, and business. 5 years later, the one has followers, but the other one has freedom. Which sister do you want to be? Now, I do both. I have social media, but I'm also doing the things that I'm actually telling you guys about. Somebody making $150,000 can still be broke. Somebody making $60,000 can be wealthy. I'm going to tell you this. I was 33 making $250,000 a year when I filed for bankruptcy. People say, how were you making that much and you filed for bankruptcy? Because there actually is a cap for people who file bankruptcy. You can't make a certain amount. Well, I was self-employed. So after the profit and loss and all that stuff, then I was within the threshold to be able to file for bankruptcy. But I'm making all this money. And I remember just having, the more money I made, the more I spent, the more debt I got into. And my dad told me years later, he said, remember when you said that when you start making a bunch of money in real estate, because I was confident that I would, he said, you said you weren't going to buy a new car. I did. You weren't going to get yourself in a whole lot of debt. I did. And you would never, ever, ever have bad credit. I did. All three of those things. The more money I made, the more things I needed. And then I had more month-end money. I remember going to a fair with my kids, taking my 4 kids, and couldn't even pay for a day pass for all of them, making $250,000 per year. This is before I had the Catalyst. This is before I opened up Catalyst. I was an independent contractor. I was making this money, but then I needed another house. I needed more cars. I needed more expensive things. I thought I needed those things. And I ended up having to file bankruptcy with a 379 credit score. Yes, I had a 379. And so those lessons taught me. I was making $250,000 a year and I had more month-end money and I filed bankruptcy. And there are people who make $50,000 a year who have retirement of $250,000. So at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you make. The smart person is the one who keeps the money at the end. Okay. So let me ask you this. If your check stopped tomorrow, how many months could your family continue living exactly the way that you do? If your check stopped tomorrow, how many more months could your family continue living exactly the way that you do? And if this answer scares you, it's time to build assets instead of relying on income. The Bible says that we should have, the Bible says invest in 7, no 8 revenue streams, because we don't know when a disaster is going to strike. We don't know if you're going to lose that paycheck. So what do you have? Do you have anything else? Do you have something that you're selling? Do you have intellectual property? Do you have investments? I know for me, when I start having to dig into my investments, then I'm in trouble. I could go, I can go up and down, and being a business owner, you have feast and famine, you have good times and bad times, you have great months and terrible months, and you have to be able to plan it out. And I've been self-employed long enough. I've been self-employed for 20 plus years, 24, 25 years. So I've been doing this a long time, so I know how to measure it out. And so I have those moments. Thank God I'm a part owner of a marijuana dispensary, and I have stock and I have investments. But if I have to start tapping into those investments, then I know I'm in trouble. So for you, I'm asking you, if that check stopped today, how long would you have before it starts looking dangerous out there for you? So I want you to I'm only telling you this because there are solutions, there are options. You can build, but don't just rely on that one income stream. Remember, if you are a Black woman, 319,000 of us lost our jobs last year. They thought that they were stable. When was the last time we seen a massive layoff like this for the government? All these layoffs, 185,000 were Black people, Black women in government jobs. It's unprecedented. But this is the nature of the economy that we're in with this administration. It is what it is. And so some of us were prepared and some of us weren't. And if you are on the end of the unprepared, it's okay. The question is, what are you going to do in this next chapter of your life to make sure that you are never in this situation again? This time should absolutely motivate you to do something different, to try something different, to think outside the box. And no, you're not too old. No, you're not too washed up. No, it's not too late for you. You can always do something new. I have the Net 7 Collective, and most of the women in the Net 7 Collective are over 50, probably a good amount of them are 60. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're judges, they're professionals, they're housewives, they're project managers, they're IT professionals. And they said, okay, I want to increase my net worth. Some of them is like, listen, I live a good life, Constance. I travel. I be living my best life. My house is beautiful, but I had my investments. I need some investments. And so we helped get them together with their investments. Some of them are like, hey, Constance, I want to start speaking. I want to get on the stage. We help them get on the stage. Some of them are like, Constance, I want to grow and scale my business. What can I do? And I've helped them do all that as well. And so it doesn't matter. I said that to say it doesn't matter how old you are or where you are. It's never too late to start over. One of my favorite mentors, Dr. George Fraser, he said we have different cycles of life. But he said, it gets better each decade. And he was saying his 70s, he's 81 now. He said in his 70s, it was his best year ever. So don't think because you're in your 50s and in your 60s and your 70s that it's too late for you, because it's not. I just turned 50. I figure I got another 50 years to go. So we're gonna rock this out. If we need to pivot, if we need to shift, we need to do something else, let's do something else. But it's not too late for you. So I have the Net 7. Let me just show you what Net 7 is.
People always ask me, what is the Net 7 Collective and what do you actually learn inside this community? Inside this community, you will learn how to bring your ideas to life. So if you have a dream or a business concept that you've been sitting on, I'm going to show you how to turn it into something real. You'll learn how to set up your business entity. You'll learn how to build your credit so that you can leverage it to build your wealth. You'll learn how to invest in real estate and stocks and additional revenue streams that help you create long-term stability. You'll learn side hustles that generate real income. You'll learn how to build a brand that reflects really who you are. You're going to learn about drop shipping. You're going to learn how to create your own podcast. You're going to learn how to develop your public speaking skills and how to market your business so that it grows. Net7 was a 12-week program, but I decided to make it a lifetime membership because I'm so invested in Black women, especially with what's going on. 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs. So I want to make sure that these women have everything that they need so that they can thrive in this current environment. I'm committed, and I only want women who are also committed. So if this is something that speaks to your heart, you're trying to figure out your next, then join this community of brilliance.
I'm still trying to find my my link to give you for Robinhood, but still I can't find the link to give you for Robinhood, but still I want you to start investing. So if you don't take anything out of this conversation today, and this is just a conversation, I want you to at least open up a Robinhood account. At least open up an Acorns account. Because if you can't save on your own, if you don't know how to invest, these small apps, these small tools will give you what you need to at least get you started. Now, Acorns is one where in probably within a year, I was able to save about $30,000. I just added all of my bank accounts to Acorns, and all the money I spent. So every time you spend, whatever you spend, it takes your change and it invests it for you. So say you spend $1.50, it'll take that 50 cents and it'll put it in this Acorns account, and then it invests it in ETFs, okay, fractional stock. So it's investing for me. So I'm probably in a year I made $30,000 one year, and I took my Acorns money and my weed money, because I'm an investor in a marijuana dispensary, and then I bought a commercial property. I bought a commercial building with those two investments. So these are things, you take these investments, you save the money, because the first thing we talked about was cutting the fat, right? Where can we cut the fat? Download the Rocket Money app, cut the fat, get rid of the subscriptions, start investing in other things. So whether that's Acorns, Robinhood, take your money and put it over there. And then that money that you earn there, then you would invest it in other things. You just keep rinsing and repeating. Okay. Let me see. Karina said, I lost my job in December. I've been able to survive, but I'm getting anxious now. I get a job offer and can't wait to start. You got a job offer. Congratulations, Miss Karina. I am so happy for you that you got a job offer. You can breathe again. Thank you. I'm so glad. So congratulations. And it's so many Karinas out there that are in the same position. And I just want to encourage you that the biggest investment that you can make, you guys, is in yourself. So you sitting here just listening to me rant about money. And if you've learned something, that's an investment in yourself, because that's why I'm here. I'm here for no other reason than to help you and give you some ideas to help you to be creative. Get those 8 revenue streams. I gave you 3 practical tools that you can start today. You got Rocket Money. It's going to help you with your budgeting. It's going to help you cut the fat. You got Acorns, which is going to help you to save and then invest. And then you have Robinhood, which is going to help you to invest in stock. Those 3 things are very simple, but they're powerful. So you don't know where to start. You don't know where to go. Very, very simple steps. Okay. So I don't ever, thank you so much for it. I don't ever want to come in here and talk over your head, because I know people, I've seen people who do that. They come in here, they say all this big stuff, and if you go to do this and get your LLC and you put it in all that stuff is super duper complicated. Like, ain't nobody talking like that. Very simple stuff. Save your money, cut the fat, invest it in other things, and that's going to get you the kickstart to becoming an investor, and then you can elevate to something higher. Start very basic, start very simple, so that you can then elevate. Very easy. Okay. So if you are interested in purchasing your first home, because real estate is the number one way that you can build wealth. I don't know if you know, 80% of wealth in this country is generated through real estate. 90% is passed intergenerationally. Unfortunately for African Americans, we just got in the game 60 years. They've had a 400-year head start. So it's still 44% of us that are homeowners. That means there are 66% of us that aren't. There are over 23 million of you that are eligible to purchase homes. that have not. That's a lot of you. A lot of you for various reasons. Maybe you're waiting on the prices to drop. They ain't going down. If they are, they're not going down much. Maybe you're waiting on the interest rate. Okay, if you are, so is everybody else. And when they do, it's going to be harder for you. Perhaps you're scared because you don't want to stop renting. That might be very well true. Maybe you think, oh, I don't have enough money in case something breaks down. Where there's home warranties and things like that you can overcome that don't even cost you any money. But every day that you sit there on the sidelines, you are just paying somebody else's rent. And one of the things that I want you to think about is look at how long you've been renting the house that you've been renting. If you rent your home for $2,000 a month, and that is $2,000 a month, and you've been renting it for 5 years, that's $24,000 per month times 5. What is that? It's well over $100,000, right? That's how much you've given your landlord that he's made in profits. It's how much my tenants make me. I ain't mad at it. I've actually tried to sell to the tenant. They're happy with renting, and I'm okay with that too. Okay. But you got to think what's important for you and what's going to help you to get to a place where you have financial freedom. And paying somebody else's mortgage ain't it. And even if it's just one small step, it might not be the dream home, but it's something that's going to give you equity, that's going to give you leverage, that's going to give you access to the financial freedom that you want. So I am starting a community called First Keys Club. And I'm super excited about it because me and my team are helping first-time home buyers all over the country to be able to get their first set of keys. So wherever you are in the country, we are going to guide you. My agents are going to mentor you. We have a community. We're going to have monthly meetings. Our first meeting is next Thursday, Q&As. We're going to help you get acclimated. We're going to help you with your credit. We're going to help you with your credit. We're going to help you with your down payment assistance. We're going to help you save. We're going to help you cut the fat. So we're going to walk with you from beginning wherever you are, whether you have good credit or bad credit, to getting your first set of keys. And you will be assigned to one of our agents as your mentor that's going to guide you along the way. So it's not like we're going to just put you in there, we're going to leave you alone. No, we're actually going to be holding your hand and helping you through, which I'm really excited about. So the first 10 people who sign up for the first keys is only $49 per month. You cannot beat that. To get your credit helped, increased, get your credit increased by a certified credit expert and my team, to get down payment assistance, and to ultimately get into a house, $49 per month. So for the first 10 people, it's only $49 per month for lifetime. That's your lifetime membership as long as you keep your membership. And then after we get the 10 people in there, it'll be $97 per month, but this still is steal because, again, $97 to get you into a place where you're financially free. And that's what I want for you. If you look at any of my social media and you don't know me personally, I exist to help Black people build wealth. I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. I've helped thousands of people, not just Black, from every walk of life, get into homes, get into invest, create their wealth portfolio. So if you are interested, go to firstkeys.club. There's actually a free assessment on there that'll tell you where you stand, and it'll give you a wealth roadmap, a blueprint of your first keys. So it'll give you a blueprint. As soon as you do it, it'll give you assessment, it'll give you a score, and then you can download the blueprint. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Okay. Also, if you already have your home, I'm having a living trust training coming up. MakeMyLivingTrust.com/masterclass. That's on the 25th. And I'm going to be helping people that day create their living trust in a day. So even if you got the book, you may have gotten the book. I'm so disgusting. I got gum back here. You may have gotten the book, and the book might be sitting on the shelf and you're waiting to do it. Well, I'm going to be, me and a group of people, I'm going to be showing you how to, I'm going to give you the prompts, and we're going to go step by step, and you'll have your living trust done that day in 3 hours on a Saturday. Okay. So that is only, early bird pricing is only $97 for this class. And the living trust actually costs $3,000, $5,000, sometimes $10,000. In my last masterclass, someone paid $10,000 for their living trust. I actually had an attorney in the last masterclass. So if you were in the last masterclass, remember we had an attorney. She said In fact, it's on the website. She said this training, basically, I'm going to paraphrase it, but it was so robust. It was so great. She's implementing my trust into her business, and she does Living Trust. And she was saying that she got so much out of this training that she's actually going to be utilizing the trust for her clients. Boom. So this is not only something that you could do for you, but that you could do for your family too. And actually, one gentleman on there, he had a trust. And he said, the reason why I joined this class is because I want to help my family be able to do the same thing. So that's the reason why he took it. So whatever reason that you have for taking it, whatever, go to makemylivingtrust.com. Let me put the actually, let me put it on here. Go to makemylivingtrust.com/masterclass and click on the link. If you want to sign up for it, go to makemylivingtrust.com/masterclass. I would love to see you on the 25th in the training with other people who are making sure that they do not have their children fighting each other when they die, because they will, because people get to acting funny when it comes to death and money. That's all I got. Again, I want you to wish my daughter a happy birthday today, my son a happy birthday tomorrow, my youngest son, my youngest baby, he will be 18 on the 31st. So I got 3 in July, 1 in May, end of May. And y'all listen, I absolutely cannot wait till these ninjas get up out of my house and go back to school. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I want them out of here. I'm ready to be an empty nester. So happy 4th of July. Celebrate freedom the way that you want to. Happy Juneteenth. Okay, because that's where I'm hanging out at. Happy freedom for everybody. And I hope you have a good time. I think I'm going to be somewhere in the house this weekend because it's probably, they said it's going to be like 100-something degrees in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So I probably will not be outside. But wherever you are, make sure that you stay safe. Hopefully you've gotten something from this live today that you could take with you that will help you in some way. All the things, if you don't remember what I said, rewind, watch it again, send it to your friends, because I think this is going to be information that can help everybody. Okay. Karina, she said, once I start again, my plan is to build back up my savings and then buy a second home. The ultimate goal is to build a real estate portfolio through flips and renters. Yes, that's the number one way to build wealth. And let me see if I have anything over here on where y'all at on Instagram. Any comments on Instagram? Not really, kind of. Let me see. I absolutely love Net7. Hey, what's up, Chrissy? Net7, sis. Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I see your comments, but I appreciate you. I'm going to go. My daughter's going to have a little cookout today, so I got to go help her get the house prepared. I got these guys on my roof right now that are replacing my roof. So we got a lot going on around here, but I appreciate you rocking with me for the last 43 minutes. Take care. God bless. See you Monday.